Tilting the Scales with Nathan Logan, Walter Hall, and the Heartbreak Kid.
It's
Chet
again, it's
Bowen.
predetermined.
Yeah. So that's that. Were you going to say that, Wally? I think I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not objective. None of it's objective. It's
Yeah.
not objective. It's not open for interpretation. They're going to do whatever the party wants them to do. And both sides are like that. Both sides are absolutely like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Both sides suck at this point. Like I'm watching it and like, just to your point, Wally, I do not want the Democrats, who are not one party. There's a super left, a moderate, and in between that, a few different options. And like, they're all just going to go nuts over what they think it should be.
So I guess that's the sad part about it, is that even the doctors with a medical degree, and it's supposed to be a non-biased opinion, right? Like the medical facts are this, and it has nothing to do with Democratic Party. You know, I feel like, again, we're so polarized on parties, and I think maybe this group excluded from that. I feel like so many people grew up Democratic, voted Democratic through generations, and they're always on that party. They're almost in disbelief of another party, or trying to think about other ideologies and beliefs that are attached to that they may even believe in, but because it's a Republican that spoke it or said it, then it's not a consideration. And
they spin it the other way. I know exactly what
it's just like, I don't understand.
We live.
Go ahead.
We live in a post-COVID world. COVID changed everything. And I think especially as it pertains to medical, like, there is now two sets of medical facts, right? There is not like a truth. It used to be that the doctor said this is the standard treatment. You didn't deviate from it. It was one set of facts. It was universally agreed upon. And like, that was medicine, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's like, okay, there's Republican medicine, and now there's Democrat medicine, and like, depending on what side of the aisle you are, is depending on the treatment you receive, whether that be vaccines, whether that be ivermectin. There's a plethora of ways that now it's not even there's not even a standard protocol as pertains to our health and our well-being. It's subjective based on party affiliation. If we're at that point now, where like whether or not vaccines are effective is a political issue and not a medical one, we're fucked. We're fucked. Because you can't, if we can't debate from a common set of facts, like if we don't start with a truth or a lie, or black and white at the fundamental issues, then there's no chance you're going to agree on anything, because there's not a common set of facts you're basing this on.
I couldn't agree more. Like that's basically what I can't believe what's happening. I'm watching this go on, and I was like, what? Like, because here's the actual truth of the whole thing. Whether or not Democrats or Republicans agree, there still is truth, and the truth is objective. It's not political. And so the fact that we're putting people's lives at risk by making something as basic as truth an issue of politics it's going to kill people, right? Like, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And so it is absolutely amazing what's happened over the past, I think you're right about COVID. COVID made everything even more political than it already was, which is not.
It certainly accelerated it.
And I would love to say, listen, the Trump campaign, they're all celebrating right now. They should be concerned that there's still a possibility they're going to lose to a guy with Alzheimer's. Right?
I honestly don't think I do not think that is going to happen at all. If Biden is still the nominee and on the ballot, he is not winning. I mean, I'd like to bet a large amount of money on that. Maybe I have too much faith in the American public, but I feel like everybody, Republican or Democrat,
I don't know, man.
And I would honestly almost believe that Democrats almost wouldn't vote for their candidate as opposed to vote for him because they don't have confidence. They're not going to vote for anybody. They're not going to vote for Trump, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just don't show up. And when I say they, I mean, that's probably the extremist, but it's enough to sway the vote.
Well, I think Biden is staying in because the only reason he's allowed to stay in, if he chooses to, is because he's going against Trump. Any other Republican candidate, pick him. Pick him. Pick.
He won't make it through the. He won't make it through the national convention. He won't make it through the convention.
What's it?
He will not be the nominee. He will not mark it. Like I wish we had a fact board, because I would bet I go on DraftKings right now, bet $100 on the fact that Joe Biden will not be the nominee come the end of the Democratic National Convention. There's just no way.
I hope
the
not.
party, his own senators, his own senators are coming out against him now. His biggest donor, George Clooney, just ran a fundraiser for him 3 weeks ago. When the money starts drying up, they will not have a choice. Once the money dries up, it's all about money. George Clooney is indicative of a huge trend where the money is going to start drying up now, because people don't think he can win. And once that happens, everyone's going to abandon him. He won't. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Yeah. I don't see how he wins against anyone except Trump. And I think that is where his team is saying stay in the race. They shouldn't. I think it's unethical to make this guy, like, to walk him out there at this point, I think is unethical. The guy can barely walk, right? And they're pushing him out there and saying he's got to go. The only reason he's still even in it is because the opponent is Trump. And my point is, like, if you put Mitt Romney out there right now, or anyone but Trump, it's almost the same thing. That's why it sucks so bad, because if like anybody but Trump was out there, Biden's dead.
I don't know.
They had the chance. It was an open election. He beat the party. He beat the field. 2 years in a row, he beat everybody in submission. Like they have nobody to blame but themselves. This is our options. We have a geriatric with Alzheimer's, or a felon, a true felon who earned every felony. You won't convince me otherwise. He earned every one of those.
Mm-hmm.
He'll never see a day of jail time. But going back to the
no, he won't see a day
going back
jail.
to the COVID comment. Going back to the COVID comment, where you guys agree that changed everything and kind of charged everything politically, whether it was the medical facts being from one party and another, and people believing what they want. Do we think that, like, just people, or I guess the question is, did we react out of fear? Like the majority of the American public react out of fear and form or grasp one of the opinions of either party when it came to the medical facts, as opposed to forming their own opinions and deciding, you know what, like me, like I had no choice but to get the vaccination, but I did not think that my government, that I supported, would put something in my body that would harm me, or make it more adverse, or make it more likely that I would be subjected to any kind of sickness. So, and I was in a position where I didn't have a choice. So I did get that, vaccination, and I had, in the first time in my military career, that was the only vaccination that I had an option to get. I got it from a position of leadership and wanted to be able to say, hey, I'm healthy. I'm confident that if I get sick, it's not going to hurt me adversely. Yes, I'll get sick, right? It's a real thing. It's a virus. It's designed to deteriorate your immune system, and you're going to get sick. But I'm healthy. Right, I'm active in the gym, so I'm healthy. I feel like I'm going to be able to recover from that. Worst case scenario is, again, I have to isolate from everybody. I don't want to. I'm contagious. I don't want to give it to everybody, but and I'm communicating this to the people that I deal directly with on the daily, and they're still, again, almost living in fear, listening to a third party, social media group that says, don't do this. The government hasn't approved it, or the FDA hasn't approved it, this and that. And like, it's bad for you. So again, I asked the question, did the majority of the American public want the government, whatever political party, to give them the information, and then they make their decision, not based off of that, but whatever the decision that party gives them? Or are we so, as the majority of Americans, are we so dependent on the government that we won't form our own opinions, do what we think is best for whether it's your family or your smaller immediate group, whatever that is? So yeah, I guess I posed that question. I don't know the answer to it, and that was a long-winded way to get to it. But
Wally, you want to get? I have an answer for this, but Wally, you want to go first?
Jesus, I don't know where to start. There's a lot going on there. I think that that's a very complex question. It's a very complex answer because there's varying stages of. Again, it speaks to the truth, right? Like, I think people are making decisions based on their truth in that moment, and frankly, it was never quite clear what that truth was. I think we were misled by our government. I think we were misled by media. I think we were misled on both in both directions, yeah, and I think we're still being misled in both directions. Factually speaking, about when you in your regards to living in fear, whether or not the treatment the treatment has detrimental side effects. The facts are millions and millions and millions and millions of people died because of this virus. And I think that as a public in my lifetime, we never had anything else like it. There was nothing even remotely like this in my lifetime. It killed millions of people. It killed people I know. Like, this is fact. These are facts, and people can debate them after the fact all you want. But factually speaking, from my eyes, everything I saw, millions and millions of people died because of COVID. So, did we overreact? Maybe, I don't know, but it was unprecedented. You didn't know what was happening. You don't know where it came from. You didn't know the progression. You didn't know how it was going to mutate. I think people try to stay up on it as best we can. The problem is that this situation is primed for corruption and primed for people being misled, and people trying to make money off of it, and a lot of people did. So it's hard to know. It's hard to know if we're living in fear or not, because it's hard to know what's true.
Yeah.
well, from like a rudimental, maybe you can one of you can use yourself as an example. Again, I'm saying that my immediate family, like, I'm not living in fear because of, like, I didn't like that everything shut down. I understood why, because as you said, the simple fact is millions of people died. It was highly contagious. Like, if the government didn't step in and do something, not necessarily the virus, but put some restrictions on, then it could have gotten worse. I agree with that. But I just feel like, again, from a someone in our age group, like, I feel like a lot of our peers were more fearful of anything and allowed the louder commentary to cloud their judgment and almost overreact and like kind of a panic, I would say. Like, and again, I didn't ever think the world was going to end. I don't think anybody, either of you did either, but it was a serious time. But I just think that it's, again, from my standpoint, it was just, it's not normal. It's not normal to go through these things, but it isn't. In my opinion, it is also not normal to panic and be frightened of what is going on and what is transpiring. When you could step back, think about it logically, intrinsically maybe, and then somehow reflect that to the people around you, and then I don't know. I guess.
So Nate, I want to respond to your other question. I think Wally did a really good job sort of responding to the COVID part and like what happened and the politics. I'll respond to your other question, which was, do you think we have gone so far in one direction that we're just listening and we can't make our own opinions? So for me personally, my whole life has been finding my own way, right? So during the whole pandemic, I was just, okay, so this is what's going on. I reacted at work. I looked at my kids. The one thing that bothered me would be when the kids would say, like, I don't want to wear a mask today. And I had to explain to them why they had to wear one. And part of me did wonder in the back of my mind, like, do they really have to fucking wear this? Like, I don't know. Because you didn't know, right? But there were millions of people dying. So if wearing a mask for my kid who didn't like it meant there's a less of a chance he's going to die, wear the fucking mask. Not that hard, right? So that was kind of where I went with that part. The other side of it, I was just doing a training yesterday with my team at work where I was saying, like, you can make statements like I can, I will, I prefer, or you could say if only, or I can't, or if the situation was different. And so I always think of my life that way, like, okay, so this is what's going on. What can I control? What's within my control? So I think a lot of people think like me. I don't think I'm unique. I don't think that I'm special. I think a lot of people look at the world like, okay, all this crazy stuff is happening. The Biden thing right now, for instance, or the Trump thing or whatever. What's happening within my circle, my people I care about, and like what can I do within that? And that's typically how I think. I have seen people, and I think to your point, Nate, I have seen people that are just like, well, what does Biden say, or what does Trump say? And I'm going to do whatever they say, and I'm not going to think about it for myself at all. And that is not who I am. And I think there's more people like us than there is like them, but they're louder. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
Do we also think that I guess I would ask another question. I wouldn't say micromanagement comes to mind, but do we think that the government is potentially doing too much when it comes to information and when it comes to putting news and information out to the public about, and again, we talk about it being politically charged. Like, is the information that's being put out, is there a political agenda on top of that so that the public does react a certain way? And then I would also ask, like, again, like, if that's what's happening, how is that any different than a country like China or Russia not allowing propaganda to get out nationally, and keeping information internally to them, and also again not allowing certain information about what their government's doing to get out to the public in China or Russia? Like,
can I start with that one? Because again, you're asking really awesome questions. Actually, one thing I will say that differentiates us from them is we have multiple news sources. It's a problem and it's also good, right? So we have MSNBC or CNN saying one thing, we got Fox News saying another, and as Americans, we can choose which opinion we want to consume, right? Like, whereas China or North Korea is a whole different thing, but like China, let's say, there's not a whole lot
Russia, China and Russia both agreed.
Yeah, there's there's no choice there about what you want to listen
There's
to.
one news source, and it's state sponsored.
Right, it's all state-sponsored shit. So that's the difference, and that's why I still stand by us over everybody. The other piece, though, is that as far as the government goes, they're always going to be careful. They're going to protect themselves first. The media, I do think, Nate, though, is very, depending on which channel you watch, they're going to release information and they're going to spin it in a certain way based on what they want to see happen. I do think that's absolutely what you see all the time.
By that you mean our media, CNN,
our media,
Fox,
yes.
MSNBC. Yeah.
To me, I think it's even more fundamental than that when you're speaking about governmental overreach. I agree with you about them slanting information. Yes, but both sides do it. I think we've been doing it for 300 years. It's absolutely wrong, and it should just be factual. It's just that is just not the case. To me, it's more fundamental. Is like, what kind of governance do they have over our bodies, right? So if you're mandating I take a vaccine, like, what's the difference between like then government saying, I mean, I understand, like, I'm gonna make a broad kind of statement here, and I'm a little nervous that it's being taped. But like, you can't on one hand say my body, my choice as it pertains to abortion, but hey, you need to take this shot in your arm in order to be able to, go about in society. Because ultimately it's my body, it's your body. I should be able to make choices that pertain to my body. Now, the counter argument to this, obviously, is that if the choices I make about my body then influence your health and well-being, does that where the government has some control? I would still argue no. Because it's my choice. And science is not 100%. Medical progress is not guaranteed. We're constantly finding out things we thought we knew were 100% wrong all along, and we had been doing it all wrong. So I say they should not have governance over our body and in the choices we make therein, because frankly, it's not their fucking business, and they don't have a great track record with it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that for sure. That I don't even know if we could go back to the polio vaccine if that was government mandated. I don't think that it was, because I don't think the government had enough of it anyway. So
No, that vaccine, by the way, Nate, was built by a guy who gave it away for free.
yeah, no,
Unlike COVID, where everyone had to make
100%,
money off it.
Yes, I completely agree that those days are
Long gone. Yeah.
And I mean, Thomas Edison created the light bulb for free as well. He didn't distribute it for free, but he definitely created it, and the information was out there. Now we know that information is lucrative, and it's we can put a dollar sign on it, and people that are that smart and that creative should profit from things like that.
I agree. They should, if they're helping all of us, they should profit. Yes.
I've been meaning to talk to you guys about that. I'm thinking about charging you for talking to me on Friday nights. I think $10 each is reasonable. I don't think it's outlandish. I think that I should charge for this intellect.
Can you prove to me how this is helping society, Wally?
Wow. So this is the start. We'll get there. It's my big brain stuff. We'll get there. You're not ready for that truth yet. Just send the $10. We'll keep chatting.
They'll do it. Okay, I got it.
So going back to I guess we can all agree that somehow the government, I don't know if corrupt is a strong word, but our politicians are swayed through public corporations. We know that. And something in the news recently was that they wanted to ban or not allow people that serve in I don't know if it's state and federal, but for sure senators, potentially governors. I'm not really sure who they were targeting, but for sure they were talking about those individuals not being allowed to day trade or trade stocks and have a portfolio. Because there are several, as we know, there are several politicians that make, let's say they make $200,000 a year, on the books, and their portfolio is worth, $200 million, based off of.
Oh, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. This is a pet issue. This is a pet issue of mine, because I've been following it very closely for the last 6 months. Nancy Pelosi is the most guilty of it. They are not beholden to insider trading laws, so they can hear things on the Senate floor, buy 20,000 stocks of Apple, which they know are doing some sort of merge 2 weeks from now, and make millions of dollars off it with zero repercussions. It's just what Nancy Pelosi has made hundreds of millions of dollars doing exactly that.
And what does the SEC call that? What does the SEC call that?
Insider trading. It's called insider trading.
And it's illegal, right? Isn't that a federal crime?
It's illegal. You and I couldn't do that. We get arrested. We would get arrested. U.S. senators can. She's got a better track record than Warren Buffett. Like, this is true. This is all factual. I'm not exaggerating. Look this up. And they finally outlawed it. They outlawed it for them and their immediate family. It's years past due. But I have decided I've been doing a little bit of day trading myself. I've enjoyed it. It's kind of a way of gambling. And I just follow what Nancy Pelosi does, because it's all you have to post it, and they have to. So I just buy the stock she buys, and I'm up like 20% in the last 6 months. It's been fantastic. NVIDIA, my friends, it's called NVIDIA. Invest in it. It's very valuable.
What is NVIDIA? What tracks her sales or
no? It's
trades.
No, NVIDIA is the name of NVIDIA is the name of a stock.
Holy
it's a technology stock. They manufacture and sell chips. It's basically the biggest company in the world right now.
I'm pretty sure they make video games as well.
Yeah, a month ago.
It's $130 right now.
I'm sure they have components in it. And I'm a Bitcoin guy myself too. But that's a story for another day.
It's $130 to buy one share in NVIDIA right now. What'd you buy them for? Like $20?
Oh, and it just split. No, it just split. So it used to be up around $1,000 a share a month or so ago, and it split 10 ways. So one stock became 10 stocks, and it associated the value. I'm up like 35% in NVIDIA.
So how were you able to see Nancy Pelosi's transactions?
That's a great
it's all transparent on Twitter. There's There's a couple different Twitter accounts that just follow what senators do for trades. So they post
That's
all
smart.
big trades for U.S. senators because they have to by law, they have to report it. So they just follow and track that, and they track their success rates. So I just follow that, and really, if I'm being honest, I just follow what Nancy Pelosi does.
Well, it's not.
And if she buys millions of dollars worth of stock, I buy hundreds of dollars worth of that stock. And it's not like I'm not dropping thousands of dollars in it, but if I drop a couple hundred in and I can see it, and I gain $30 in a day, I'm fucking stoked. It's like winning a scratch ticket.
I'm with you. Do you guys do? Well, Nate, you're already retired, but Wally, do you do Acorns?
I don't. I've looked at that app. I don't. Do you?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's not.
I've thought about it.
It's not perfect, but it's legitimately. It's like I'm up. I've been up the whole time. Like I've never been under.
It just rounds up, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, is this the app that takes your purchases, rounds up, and then invests that in the stock market and of your choosing?
If you want that, you can any credit card you have, you can just attach it. But what I do is I just put $75 in a week, and then Jesus, I'm up. I mean, I don't have a ton of money in there right now, but like I should have a decent amount. Like it's almost like a 401k separately from your 401k. It's almost like doubles your investment. Like I am not a guru financially, guys. Grew up in a trailer park. No one taught me shit. I'm learning as I go. But I think Acorns seems to be okay. Like it seems to be like something that
I just use Robinhood.
You can
invest. I do the same thing.
On Acorns, you can invest.
If you go through Robinhood's. I don't think so. I think Acorns, you can do predetermined stocks, right? Like you do groupings, or do you do individual stocks?
No, you could have some power over it if you want to, but I'm not smart enough to get that, how it all works. But like they put some into Bitcoin, they'll put some into whatever. So it's basically you pay like a $3 fee, which I'm sure will go up over time. But you put $75 in a week, plus you can round up some purchases, whatever it is, and then they just invest for you. And I've been watching it, and it's actually working for me. Like it's I
feel like I want to add this to the pizza money as well.
There you go.
No. Listen, Robinhood's the way to go.
No, I like Robinhood too.
It's a direct way to invest. I do the same thing. I have a recurring investment. I do it in two things. I do one in Bitcoin, and I do the other one in an ETF called VOO. It's Vanguard S&P 500. It just keeps fucking going up. Like I'm telling you what. It just keeps going up. It's called VOO, VOO. It's a stock on the S&P. It's just an ETF, which is an electronic grouping of stocks, and they just do the average, and they invest in each one of these stocks individually. It's like a retirement plan. It's like a 403b, and I just invest in that and watch that one go up. Bitcoin's a little more volatile, but it's fun.
Well, see, Robinhood for me, it sort of depends on the fact that you're smart and you look at like you, Wally, like you say, you look at it daily. I don't.
Like, you don't have to be. You don't have to be smart.
You don't think so?
You can just find. I'm telling you, do the same thing you're doing with Acorns, except go in VOO. This is meant for retirement. It's literally meant as like a side hustle, as a side thing where you just invest consistently, paycheck by paycheck, and yes, this is exactly what it's for. I'm telling you, it's better, and it doesn't have the fees that other apps have.
So I haven't used that in that way yet. So I'll do that.
Remember that VOO. Look it up.
VOO.
VOO is the abbreviation.
VOO. Right on. I like this, guys. We do. It's like a.
That's your S&P 5. That's the categorized investment or stock.
It's an ETF. It's an ETF. Yeah.
So Vanguard. It's Vanguard S&P, right?
The abbreviation is VOO. It's Vanguard S&P 500. It's an ETF.
Yep.
If you Google it, it'll tell you all about it. Look at it over 3 months. Look at it over 6 months. Look at it over a year. Look at it over 6 years. It just fucking goes up.
Oh my God. I'm looking at it right now. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Go ahead, Robin.
So it's right now it's $514.60 to buy one share. And I bet when it first happened, it was probably like, who knows, right? Like tiny.
I don't know. I have no idea. But I only buy fractional shares. Like I'll throw in $50. I don't do it by the share. I just invest like $50, $100, this and that.
That I will say about Robinhood is good, is you can buy like fractional shares. That is actually a good thing.
I like it.
All right, Nate, where were we at?
You said that you liked it already. Let's talk about the Celtics.
All right.
Let's talk about the Olympic team first of all. We're the first team. We're the only team with 3 players. And technically there's a 4th because Peyton Pritchard is on the elite practice squad. I don't know if he's specifically traveling with the team, but he is involved with USA Basketball. So we have 4 players from our championship team. Brown is not included in that. How do we feel about 3 starters on our basketball team participating in the Olympics, and how do you think that affects our chances to repeat next year?
So I have 2 schools of thought on this.
Yeah.
Number one, it speaks to the high level that our team is performing at, right? I mean, we're a very good team. Jaylen Brown is probably better than at least better than 2 out of the 3, but arguably better than all 3 of the players on the team currently. So you can say arguably we should have 4 teams. But everyone I know that's played in USA basketball, they say there's a leap. Whereas you play at a high level with the world's best over a 6-week period, and then that translates into increased success in the following season. Jason Tatum talked about it really well in an interview he did with Carmelo Anthony. He said that, like, I think it was in 2000 when he was on the last Olympic team. The next year he was All NBA. He was an all-star. We went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, he had a career year by every measure. He measures that based on the competition he faced playing on USA Basketball. And not even against the other teams, just playing with those same players year after year.
Yep.
The problem is we just won a championship, so they've had literally 3 weeks of rest. But it's not Al Horford. It's not Kristaps Porzingis. These are guys that are 24, 25, 26 years old that eat, sleep, breathe basketball. I think it's only a good thing. And I think it's going to bode very well for our basketball fortunes next year, personally.
Yeah, I do. I worry about the fatigue.
If Jaylen Brown got screwed.
Yeah, no doubt.
We haven't gotten to that yet.
But as far as the chances for next year, I worry about the fatigue factor, given that we have so many guys. But to Wally's point, you only get better, right? You're out there with Steph Curry and LeBron James and Kevin Durant, and like you're learning how they think and what they do, and like, how do you not get better doing that?
Yeah.
I actually specifically think White will do better because he's going to learn from Steph Curry. White's already great, right? So right? Yeah. But man,
he gets to guard Steph every day in practice.
Yep.
That's got to be, what an experience. He gets 6 weeks of guarding Steph Curry every day in practice. That can't be a bad thing.
Oh, can't be a bad thing.
Can't be a bad thing.
What do you think, Nate?
Again, it does speak to the success that we had and the caliber of players that we have. And I do agree. My point was the Jason Tatum interview as well with Carmelo Anthony about how he did point out, and I agree that, you play iron sharpens iron. You practice every day for 6 weeks or a few months and play with the best of the best. That's like going to All-Star weekend and it continuing for 6, 7, 8 weeks, depending on how long. And it, an opportunity again for those guys. They're too talented to ever even consider joining the military, but that may have that same effect where, again, they're representing their country, and there's a lot of pride in that. And I think the success there, I think it's a double-edged sword as well. I think we have a very good team, and we have obviously Vegas agrees that our chances of winning gold are pretty good. And there's been comparisons to the dream team, and that's probably another conversation. But it could have a negative effect as well if they don't do well. I think hopefully they're mature enough to live that experience again being able to play against or with LeBron James and Stephen Curry every day. Like, I hope that has a positive effect on him. I am worried about, obviously, you know, the fatigue going into next year, especially when we're expected to go deep, do another deep run into the playoffs. So I'm pretty sure, you know, Brad Stevens has a very solid plan. I hate the word load management, but at least at the beginning of the season, the first half of the season, maybe there's a little less, 5-10 minutes less a game, especially if we're up by 20.
I can tell you what the plan's going to be. Hop on board the chip on Jaylen Brown's shoulder and ride it to a championship.
I mean, yes,
he is going to be. He has a chip the size of Texas sitting on his shoulder right now.
As he should.
He's going to show the fucking world, as he should. Yeah. Which drove him already to an NBA Finals MVP. Can you only imagine what he's going to do next year? Oh, so Lord. My Lord.
Yeah, so back to that, like, all right. So it turns out Kawhi Leonard isn't going to go. And then there's an announcement, and I don't want to – if we look at players that aren't on the roster that are available in the United States that are healthy, who replaces Kawhi Leonard better than somebody with Jaylen Brown's skill set? Like,
nobody.
I really can't think of anybody better in the NBA, foreign, United States born, whatever. I can't think of anybody better to replace that dude. And nothing against Derek White. I think,
agreed.
I think that was definitely earned. And maybe they didn't want to bring in another. If we looked at Kawhi Leonard as somebody that was on the starting five, they didn't necessarily want to. They wanted to elevate the person that was the one guy behind Kawhi to get more minutes, as opposed to bring in somebody to take his spot. Maybe that's the thinking as well. But I do think, again, when you look at it logically, younger, more athletic, healthier. I just don't see how he doesn't get a phone call and he has to say, like, no, it's not this year,
the fucking NBA Finals MVP.
Inarguably better than Derek. I love Derek White. Love Derek White. There's not a person on the face of the earth that thinks Derek White's better than Jaylen Brown. No. Nobody thinks that. Nobody. Now, you can make an argument that Derek White can be a more effective 12th man on your roster.
Yep.
In that he's not going to complain, he's not going to bitch, he's not going to demand the ball or demand time, where Jaylen Brown may not do that. You can make that argument, I guess. The argument you can make is the on-ball defender, and they don't do well against fast European little guards. But Jaylen Brown's no slouch. He can guard a wide variety of players. He's not as good on the ball as Derek White is. He just isn't. I don't think he is. But he's not bad. He's really fucking good. Yes, it's tough. There are other good guys that got ripped off too. I mean, Jalen Brunson just signed a big contract. He'd be good on this team too.
Hold on. Can we go back to this?
Kyrie Irving's a hell of a basketball player.
There.
Yep, he is. Yep.
But they picked a Celtic, and they chose the guy that wasn't the Finals MVP.
I know.
What the fuck? What
they chose fuck? They chose three guys that were the Finals MVP.
Yep. Look, I just can't wrap my head around it. I wish Jeff was on because he was like, it's a Nike thing. I mean, I think makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys heard all that, the Nike thing. Jaylen Brown came out and tweeted that today.
Explain.
So Jaylen Brown is,
and where does this go back to? Does this go back to pre-selection and USA team is doing they form a committee, all that stuff?
Jaylen Brown is Anta. He signed to Anta, I think is the name of his shoe brand. He is very much against the practices of Nike. Nike runs sweatshops in Indonesia and sweatshops in China. It's widely known. Everybody knows it. And they've made billions and billions and billions of dollars doing that. Jaylen Brown is incredibly intelligent. He's politically motivated and very articulate, and he fights for social causes. More so probably than anyone in the NBA today, really, if I'm being honest. He graduated from Cal with a very high GPA. This man is very, very intelligent. Very intelligent.
Yep.
And Nike is a sleazeball corporation.
Yep.
A sleazeball corporation. by every measurable barometer, they're a sleazeball corporation. They make money on the backs of tribes in Indonesia and these foreign countries. They don't manufacture anything in America. They make it for $3.50 and sell it for $300. It's that. And Jaylen Brown has called them on that repeatedly. And because he's called them on that, and Nike is a major sponsor of Team USA, he believes he's being kept off because he's spoken up against their less than stellar corporate decisions.
There have been athletes in the
sense?
past that have made the Olympic team that have boycotted the brand, right?
Yes, but that's almost always because they were signed to Reebok or they were signed to Under Armour, which is entirely different than saying, you suck, Nike. You're a horrible person, and you're a terribly run corporation, which is what Jaylen Brown does. Now, I believe that's the story, but to me, that's a big difference.
No, it is a big difference. Or just what you say when a microphone's in front of you definitely makes a difference. What your actions.
It is.
If he were to just not ever say anything about Nike, he obviously believes.
It makes me respect him more.
Yeah, for sure.
He speaks his mind regardless of the money. He lost himself probably tens of millions of dollars going after Nike like this.
Yeah, no, he said so himself. He said so himself.
What shoe does he wear?
I think it's anti. It's some or Fila Fila. It's some less the. If you can Google it right now, it's Fila or Ant, something like that. It's not a very well-known shoe brand.
Actually, what do you guys wear? Wally, what do you wear?
I wear Nikes that are made in
Under Armour.
Indonesia.
Yeah, you do? What do you wear, Wally?
I prefer the fit of Under Armour.
Yeah, me too. I wear Under Armour everything. Yeah. Actually, my wife asked me for my birthday, and I was like, I want to go to Under Armour and get some new workout shit.
Do it while on your vacation. We got the outlet right here in Til'ton.
Yeah,
they almost always have good deals there too.
I might do that. I may either go to the outlet in Til'ton. So we were actually discussing that outlet in Til'ton or outlet in Merrimack, because Merrimack's close, but I kind of want to get a day of it. So Til'ton might be a thing. But
you're coming up for the concert. You have 2 days. Go Wednesday during the day. Go do a little shopping for your birthday. Have her pamper you. Get a petty.
The fuck is that? Oh, got it.
A pedicure. Listen, I'm not above a good pedicure.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Hey, you might be available for lunch on Wednesday, right? Like, you'll fly from Texas.
No, I'm not available. Sorry. He signed with Adidas, I think.
Adidas?
Yeah.
Adidas? No.
Yeah. I mean, everything on here says that he's been wearing Kobe's for a long time, and now there's a bunch of Adidas photos. New Balance, maybe showing that as well. I don't know. It doesn't definitively say.
Yeah, he had a deal with Adidas for the first 5 years of his career, and has since then not signed to another brand. I thought it was some little. That's crazy. Think about that. He doesn't have a shoe deal. Eastern Conference Finals and NBA Finals MVP. Doesn't have a shoe deal.
No shoe deal. Come on, man.
Nike's not signing him. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, they're not. Current Jaylen Brown shoe is the New Balance two-way, and it's 2WXY.
Two-way, 2WXY. Okay. All right.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, man. So we're done talking USA basketball? Did we talk
great
about
team.
this? Did you see Cooper Flagg playing against.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, playing
Main
against
zone.
them. Yes.
Main board and bread.
Yeah, man. There was you couldn't find anybody that would say a bad thing about him after that. And like, he's going to Duke. You know, he'll be a one and done for sure. He should be. Well, it all depends. Yes, he should. He very much will be. But I wonder how much he's going to make at Duke. And I wonder if. Well, it's hard to say. Yes, he should. He should definitely get into the NBA draft because does it make more sense to be developed by a professional team or developed at Duke? Like, I don't really know. I would say the professional team every day and twice on Sunday, regardless of what they're paying him at Duke. But yeah, I just thought he looked phenomenal against NBA. And let's look at it more with a fine tooth. Those players that he was playing against, not only were they professional, they were just coming off their own season. He hasn't played, he's been playing AAU against guys his own age, not overseas. And he's
17. He's been playing high school teams.
And he looked phenomenal. Like, just movement off the ball.
So good.
Like, he was so fluid. And, like, when I mean fluid, I mean it looked like you couldn't watch the highlights and say, damn, that's a kid going into college. Like, first year of college next year. Like, that was I don't know how it happened, but that was some high level, like, that's like how we viewed Luka at that age, and like Wembanyama, like all those foreign-born players that played professionally since they were like 13.
Yeah,
like he looked like that against guys some twice his age, for crying out loud.
And it's even better than that because he's solid defensively too. Again, I've been touting this guy. I've been tooting this guy's horn for 4 years now since he was 8th grade, and he won a championship in Maine with his twin brother in the 9th grade and dominated everybody. I think he did it in the 8th grade again, and he won the championship with varsity. He's the real deal, and he's a solid person. He's a great defender. He's great on offense. He's got a twin brother that's coming up a year behind him. Not nearly as good as he is. But yeah, this guy's the real deal. He's going to be the first pick in the draft next year, and he is going to be a NBA ready talent right from the gate. Right from the gate, he's going to be a star. There's no question. I mean, he was scoring. Did you see him going against LeBron? I mean, legitimate guy.
Against AD,
three.
He went up against AD also. Like, and we're talking like went to the hole, pull up midi. Like, man, I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad I didn't see any highlights of him against Drew. So I was happy about that.
He posted up Drew one time. I saw a highlight of him against Drew. But I'm excited, and I love the fact that he's from Maine.
He made everything look really, really easy, and again, just fluid, like a maturity beyond his years with just the way he is physically, his hand-eye coordination, 100%. Like everything. It was just, I hope the kid stays healthy, and I hope. You said he has a twin brother that's 1 year behind him?
Ace. His name's Ace. So,
where does he play? Is he still playing in Maine?
He's still in high school. No, they both went down to Mount Verde down in Florida, and they played there together. Cooper reclassified. He's actually should be going into his senior year of high school, but he got enough credits to reclassify and graduated a year early. So he's only 17. He hasn't turned 18 yet.
And
he should be going into his senior year.
Yeah.
He's going to play for Duke. He's going to fucking dominate for Duke. Mark my words. I've been talking to you boys about this guy since we started from day one, and I'm telling you, he's legit. This guy's the real deal.
Do you think there's a potential that his brother would sign with Duke and he stays another year so that he can play with his brother?
No, it doesn't make sense. Why reclassify? I don't. The NIL money changes everything. So I'm never going to say never. I guess that's certainly possible.
Yeah.
But I've not heard that. I've not heard anyone talk about that. Every single talking head or every single piece of media I've seen says he will be the first pick in next year's NBA draft. That's just universally seeming to be accepted. He actually was in competition with Carlos Boozer's son. I don't know what the kid's name is, but Carlos Boozer's son is one of the other top prospects in this draft, as is
I think
some other ex NBA player's son.
in this next upcoming draft.
Yes, that's well, maybe not. You know, not thinking about it, it might have been in his old grade before he reclassified. Google Carlos Boozer's son.
I'm just gonna do 2025 NBA draft. Mock draft.
Oh, podcast can't have silence. That's my bad.
Huh?
It's number one rule, no silence on
The
podcasts.
party left. What do you want us to do? The life of the party's gone.
My bad. I actually was wrong. I thought I heard Cameron like trying to run downstairs. He's sound asleep.
Ace Bailey.
What else we got?
Ace Bailey was another kid I was thinking about. What's Carlos Boozer's son's name?
Oh, you guys looking something up?
Devin Freeman is supposedly like one of the. Or Donnie.
Ace Bailey's right up there too.
Huh. Interesting.
Drake Powell. What's that? What's new in your life, chat? Talk to us.
Oh, my life? Man,
What do you want to talk about? How was your vacation?
it's starting right now. It's like literally.
So what are the plans? Are you doing anything other than? Are you guys doing anything else? Is your wife on vacation the whole time too?
Yeah, well, she's a school teacher, so she's off for the whole summer, which is good. So
She's not doing summer school or anything.
Nope. So she is, and she's
Good.
home. She's done with her. You know what? It kind of worked out, which is so crazy. Her last day of radiation is on Tuesday, which is the same day we leave for Dave Matthews. So that's really
Awesome.
cool. That's really cool. So we're gonna do that, and then we're trying to figure out a couple of days with the kids. My second week is gonna mostly be me just trying to figure out a way to stop my mind. Like Wally, you can totally relate to me. Your mind never stops, right? In the field that we're in.
You've got a legit 2-week consecutive vacation.
Yeah. You know I'm gonna get phone calls, but like it's different to get a phone call.
I was going to say,
Like you know that, right? But
will you be checking your email?
can't help it. Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you check it daily?
The only days I won't check.
And do you respond?
Yeah, I will. Just because of what we do. You know what I mean? Like I can't not, right? So
Yeah.
if I really felt that I had a good, like, second in command, which I don't yet, but if I had someone I really thought like, okay, they're going to take my job when I retire or whatever it's going to be, then I'd be okay, but I don't have that yet. Like today, we got sued by somebody and they literally had to have me dictate to them what to say.
Cameron Boozer is Carlos' son.
Yeah, I mean, I know exactly what you mean. Have you created? You don't have a chief operator. Are you a CEO? What's your actual title?
I'm executive director.
CEO and president.
It's executive director, which is the same thing, like CEO, president, whatever you want to call it. Like it's all the same. Like depending on which company you go to. We thought about CEO, but then I was like, well, CEO I thought was more over like nonprofits. So I argued for executive.
It's a corporate. Yeah, you're right. It's a corporate structure, but that would allow you to have a COO, a chief operating officer. What you need is like an assistant director, right?
Right. So what I have is a deputy director instead, which is basically a director of operations. That's what she does.
Yeah.
She has a hard time.
Is she good at her job?
She's good at the stuff that I'm not good at, it's a good thing usually, right? Like I'm good at like leading, like talking to people, working through things, communicating person to person. She's really good at like go sit in your office and then go do all the stuff I just said where I just promised, like go figure that out. Like she's really, really good at that. It's just when I'm gone, no one can do the thing I do. And that's the tough part.
Yeah.
I know you get that, right?
Yeah.
You get that.
I get that.
So,
I get
but I'm
that.
still gonna go enjoy the vacation because you know what I'm gonna do? You know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play fucking video games or something for like the second week. I'm gonna sit at home and I'm just gonna like get up, go work out, and play like a video game just to remember what it's like to like live. You know what I mean? Like something like
Yeah.
that. Because like
Yeah,
I
man.
just
We should get together. I can't get together on
let's do
Wednesday, but we
that.
should get together for lunch or dinner or do something. Watch a movie. We'll just fucking do something.
I'd love that, man. We could. But that second week is wide open. So like, so my birthday is
All right.
When's your birthday?
the 19th, and so I'm gonna do that, and then that second week, Wally. After that, we should actually, Wally. That would be something good. We should do that. See if we can get together. Like, if I can come up to your place. I've
Figure it
never
out.
seen your place ever. We should
You've
make
never
that
seen
happen.
my place. What?
You've never seen your
We should
place.
make that happen.
We should. Let's do that.
Yeah, we
I'll
should make
be
that
in
happen.
Vermont the 25th.
Wait, what?
I said I'll be in Vermont the 25th.
Okay, hold on. Let's figure this shit out. Okay, that changes everything. All right, are you gonna be Melissa? I assume.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah. When you on vacation? When you back to work, Chad?
Oh, I'm still in the midst of vacation on the 25th.
yeah, you
I
go
was
back
gonna say.
to
So
29th?
what's your return date?
The July 30th or 31st, something like that.
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, you're still in full vacation. You're just hitting your stride. I'd argue.
Right? Wait, we should figure this out, Nate.
What's that? Well, I'll be in Maine. We go to Sunday River for the race on the 27th, and then we're in where are we going in Maine? Somewhere on the coast.
York.
Just
Algonquin.
north of Algonquin. Yeah.
Right. I got quit. Okay.
Yeah, just north of that. From the 28th to the 4th.
Okay.
So, and then I fly out on the 5th, I think. I couldn't figure out anything for my dog, so I can't stay long. It's going to cost me like $800 to board both of them here while I'm gone.
Yeah. There's no friends around that could take care of them for you?
No, it was a bad time. I mean, I have several options, but one of my friends who I swap watching dogs with, he's going to Mexico for one of the weeks that I'm gone, so that won't work. Another couple that I use, they're pregnant. She's due while I'm in Maine, and I'm not gonna put that on there. So
Can't ask that. Well, let's figure it out. Like the 25th. Like so Melissa, I'm guessing, knowing Melissa the way that I do, what she would really want more than anything is for Wally and I to be there, get as drunk as we can, puke outside, and sleep in a tent. Right? Sound about right?
I don't know.
in Vermont?
Long time since I've done that.
In Vermont?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we could. Well, I mean, again, her kids are there, so you got to be respectful. For sure. The 25th or the 26th, we could figure something out. Or yeah, the 25th or the 26th.
I can't. I can't make any promises without looking at my schedule.
Look at your schedule and see if that's even possible. One of those 2 dates, because that's like
No, that's my that weekend. The weekend is the Hall family camp. Is our Hall family trip where all my siblings, my father, and my sister's flying up from Alabama.
Yeah, you can't do that.
We all rented an Airbnb. That we've been planning it for a year. Yeah, I'll bail though. I think I'll bail. I'm out.
Where is this?
I can't. That's that weekend. We're going. We you know what we do? We look around for an Airbnb. Like we cast a wide net and we find a house, and then we just because we're a huge family. There's 6 kids. We're all married. All but one of us have kids, so it's a huge house. We need a big place. We find the house and then we rent it, and then we figure out what's cool in the area. So we go to like places in Vermont. We go to obscure places in Maine or all these other places that aren't necessarily typically tourist destinations, but the house works. So we're all under one roof. It's just a good time. We do it every year. I look forward to it every year.
That actually sounds fun.
Where is it this year?
Mm-hmm. It's in a little town on the Vermont and New York border. I think it's called Til'ton or something like that. It's a 10 or 12 bedroom. I think it's an old inn. Ton of bedrooms, ton of bathrooms. It just works. It works for us. Big kitchen.
All right, well,
If you get a place like that with my family, we really don't need to leave. We can literally have a fire in the yard, hang on the porch. Like
Yep.
we could have a fun at that place and not do anything, and we would be just fine.
yeah, I get that.
But we do hikes and we go to local breweries. Every town's got a brewery nowadays.
Yeah, yeah, I hear that. Well, Nate, if Wally can't go, like I'm not inviting myself, but I'm just saying, if you want to hang out, I have a vacation.
But if you want to invite him, just
You want to come here, or I go to wherever you are. I'm on vacation. We can make that shit work if it works out for everybody.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
The good stuff. Because like I look at Sabrina, she knows I don't get vacations like she does. Like she works her balls off like during the school year, so she deserves her summer vacation. Like, don't get me wrong, but I get very few vacations, so I take this time. So if I'm like, hey babe, Nate's here, I'm gonna go hang out with him. I'm gonna pick this date. She'd be like, yeah, go ahead. Or if I was like, Nate's coming over, she'd be like, yeah, let's make that happen. Nate, if you want to come over, you could walk through the woods with me to my neighbor's house. That sounds like a great experience for you.
yeah, we met her. She might not remember us, but we met her.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah, she might not.
I think it's on the border of New Hampshire and Vermont, Paul.
Dalton might not be the right word. Might not be the right.
Dalton, New Hampshire. There's no Dalton, Vermont,
No.
or Dalton, New York.
Hey Nate,
Hold on.
Nate, question.
I might have just made that up.
Nate, why are you fact checking us?
I'm not fact checking. I was trying to see if it's in Vermont. I'm trying to see how far away it is from me. In Burlington.
Oh, I understand that. So let me
Wait, are you guys close? Come on now.
That just clicked, really? All right.
Come on now.
my whole family. Oh my God, wouldn't we love to see you? My whole family will be there.
Can we make this happen?
Oh, it's Wilmington, Vermont. Wilmington, Vermont.
How far is that, Nate, from where you're at?
I'm about to look. Wilmington, Vermont.
I mean, Wally, I'm not sure if you agree or not, but when we hang out in person, it kind of seems to be fun.
It couldn't be any further away.
Oh,
It's in the corner. It's in the corner of Vermont that borders, or is closer to New York and Massachusetts than it is to New Hampshire.
damn.
And that's like a 3.5 hour drive probably. Let me see.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
3.5 hours. Damn.
I'm actually gonna Google Map it right now.
Oh, while Nate's doing that, Wally,
What's up, buddy?
a new super PAC has frozen their donations to Biden.
Told ya.
Super who? It's 3 hours away. 2 hours and 48 minutes.
2 hours and 45 minutes. It's basically a straight shot on 89, and then that's a miserable drive. It's a miserable drive. It's a miserable drive for me. Like, how far is that drive for me to get there? I'm gonna check that out.
Well, Nate, when you're around, let me know because I will drive. Because like if it's hanging out for like a night or whatever, I can drive.
Yeah, I'll let you. I mean, again, I'll be in Burlington for. You're more than welcome. My sister would love to see you. She's got a couch downstairs.
Okay. Does it have? Wally knows this. Does it have a plug near it for a CPAP machine?
You travel with that thing?
Hell yeah. Dude, if I try to sleep without that, it is horrible for everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be downstairs. The only person that goes downstairs is their cat.
I like cats. Yeah. Check with her because it's like on that day that you, like whatever, if she's okay with it. If she's not, that's cool too, right? But if she's cool with it, then I'll I can head over there for that day, the 24th or 25th, whatever day works better.
Let me ask her. I'm not sure if we're going. I'm not sure if we're leaving for Maine on the 26th to wake up on the 27th to go, or if we're driving up there and then we're probably leaving on the 26th, to be honest.
But
And how long are you in town for, Nate? When you heading back to Texas?
I fly in the 25th. I'll be the 25th to the 5th of August.
We're doing a camping. We're doing a camper trip.
I don't think I'll be. I'd like to go see my mom, but I don't know if that's even possible. It really isn't unless we see her. We meet her for like dinner or something on the way back from Maine. Oh, I had planned to spend much more time. My sister is a hard no with my dogs. My sister's a hard no with my dogs, so that didn't help, and I couldn't find anybody to watch them for the week. I was gonna try and figure out something as far as like, I know that I'm welcome at your house with my dogs. It's just I can't leave them there. That's the problem. Or have you sit them. It's just, and you got a lot going on. I'm not trying to put that on you. So.
Well, I'm not even going to be around for a large portion of that. Like I said, we're doing the all family weekend that weekend. And the following weekend, the first weekend in August, my family and Jeff's family are going camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like that NFL draft just worked out perfectly, right?
That's my whole summer. That's my whole summer. I rarely have a day at home for the remainder of the summer through September. I'm not kidding. Like it's booked solid.
Well,
the only other thing that I had was talking about free agency in the NBA, and then if there were any impacts that you guys thought were surprising. I mean, we saw Jason Tatum get paid. Jason Tatum got paid.
It's not necessarily free agency, but like the Lakers decided that, okay, we can't pay for anyone, but we'll take LeBron James' son. To LeBron James, I guess that makes sense for them. I guess.
Yeah, we talked about this. We knew that was coming.
Yeah,
it's a fiscal decision. It's a marketing decision. It's not a basketball decision.
I'm telling you, he's going to be the steal of the draft. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, I have no doubt he'll get minutes. He'll get plenty of minutes.
He's going to be the steal of that draft, man. Second round.
Listen. If it's a business, I will watch a game or 17. Where LeBron and his son are passing to each other for alley-oops and dunks. Who doesn't want to see that shit? That looks awesome. That's awesome. I just think
not going to happen.
What's going to happen?
He's not good. He's not good at basketball. The biggest issue with his game is he's not good at basketball. If he ends up getting legitimate minutes in the Lakers, then they are not serious about basketball. They don't want to win, and they're not intending to win. Because he's just not good enough yet at basketball. You can say he's the draft. The guy they drafted in the first round ahead of him is like is scoring 20 points to his 3. Like this is not serious. He shouldn't be on the roster. He should not. He should be on a D League, if anything. Did you see his quote about why he didn't have high stats at USC?
No, but what did he say?
It was something. I wish one of you guys would Google it to pull it up. But it was something about like. That he was waiting because he didn't. There was not enough competition there for him to really release his full ability, and he had no reason to give it away ahead of time, and that he's waiting for his moment and something to that effect. Where you're like, why wouldn't you just try your best in every game you're in? It doesn't make any sense. I'm out. I'm out on Bronny James. I think it's purely a marketing decision why he got drafted, not a basketball one.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't disagree, but I also think like the kid's got some. I think he's a project for sure. He has some potential. I think. I don't know who they would have drafted at that pick. Who would have been better? In all honesty, like
I don't know. I mean, it's the end of the second, right? I mean, it's a crapshoot anyway. End of the second rounders aren't typically NBA roster eligible. In the Lakers The Lakers need to be in win championship or bust mode. I mean, they've got two all NBA level players.
Why didn't
but they also gave him. I agree with you that it's there's more motivation than just the talent that he possesses. Obviously, because he signed a guaranteed 3-year contract, which is not heard of by a second round draft.
It's so fucking stupid. But the Lakers aren't a serious organization. They're not a serious organization.
They're not. And this is my question. Why did no other team have the balls to draft Brian James just to say fuck you? Because I would have loved that. To me is a better story. Like the fucking, I don't know, Milwaukee Bucks or something. They're like, yeah, we'll draft.
I can tell you, I can answer that question.
Yeah.
He is managed by LeBron's guy, not Scooter Braun. What's LeBron's guy's name, Nate? Ron. I can't think of it.
Their agents, sports agents.
His manager. Yeah, LeBron James' manager. Called around to all the other teams and said that, yeah, listen, if anyone other than the Lakers drafts him, he's just going to play in Australia for a year and he'll be back next year and reclassify. We will not play for any other team but the Lakers. Not Ron Pelinka. Ron Pelinka is in charge. Is it Scooter Braun? No,
Rich Paul. Rich Paul's his name. Rich Paul from
Rich Paul. It's Rich Paul. It's 1,000% Rich Paul. Rich Paul called around to all the other franchises that were looking at him and said, if you draft him, he won't play for you. He'll just go play overseas. That's why no other team drafted him.
What's the sports agency? Can't remember his name. I can't remember the name that they all work for that Rich Paul owns and LeBron James. That was the name of the agency.
Well, if LeBron James owns it, it's got to be something about himself.
It's not. Dang it. Let me just back up and Google Rich Paul.
I don't know, but still, they could have done it, right? Even so, well, good point, but someone could have been like, I'm going to be a dick right now. Just because. I'm like, I'm going to draft Bronny.
They could have. A team like the Celtics were like, what do you have to lose? Our second round pick's not going to crack this roster. Our first round pick's not going to crack this roster.
So
what are you going to
do? Yeah. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, I would, if I were some other team, I'd be like, okay, let's just do it.
Yeah, we'll call you a bluff.
You think so?
I would. And I think that's the kind of shit that I do though. And I lose about 50% of the time. So, 50% it works, 50% it does not.
35%.
What's that like?
75%.
It works or not works?
75% of the time you lose.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, Nate, if I come up to see you on the 24th or whatever, can we go to that same bar that we went to?
I won't be there the 24th.
What's that?
I won't be there the 24th.
25th, whatever it is.
I get there at 9 p.m. 9:30 p.m. I fly in.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, Chuck, go to the beach.
Clutch Sports is the name of the damn agency. Clutch Sports. Jesus.
Clutch Sports.
Yeah.
God damn. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. So, yeah, free agency. I picked, I think Dallas got better. They signed Klay Thompson to basically a deal that the Golden State Warriors should have signed him to.
Yeah, they fucked that up. They fucked that up.
Well, I think he decided he didn't want to play for them anymore. That's why they offered him as much, if not a little bit more. Or I think they offered him 2 years instead of 3. He wanted a third year, and they wouldn't do that. But I think what's crazy about that is this dude from fucking New York, Harkenstein. He got a 3-year, $87 million deal to play with Oklahoma. Dude doesn't even average a double-double. Like, he might be 9 and 8, but still, Klay Thompson gets a 3-year, $50 million deal, and he's got 3 championships and can still play at a high level. I just don't know. I mean, there's so much money out there if you have those certain skills, but it's just crazy. I mean, I think when you look at those 2 signings in general in the Western Conference, because Hartenstein went to the Oklahoma City Thunder, I think that's a good addition. I disagree with the price, but I think Klay Thompson is going to have much more of an impact with Dallas.
Yeah.
I think Klay Thompson's best basketball is behind him.
I think he's been disagree with you, but he doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be at his best with that squad. I
would argue you are undervaluing the value of playing next to Steph Curry. Yeah. He is an all-time great, and he makes everyone around him exponentially better. And I do not – and this is my heart, and I have nothing against Klay Thompson. I just don't think he's going to be nearly as good of a player without playing off of him. He's never been able to create his own offense. He's a spot-up shooter. Like, he is. Yes, he's a spot-up shooter
who plays with 2 dudes that can slash and distribute in Kyrie and Luka. Like, I think it all depends on his mindset, because if he gets tired of finding an open spot and not getting the ball, then that can affect his efficiency. But he's still, like you said, a spot-up shooter. That's exactly what Dallas was missing. A third option that could spot up, not create on their own. Third option that could spot up and hit knockdown jumpers, not just 3-pointers, but knockdown jumpers. And like, I think I think Klay Thompson will have more of an impact, or he is the best free agent signing, including Paul George. Like, I don't think.
I disagree with that. I think Paul George, and I think what Philly's doing is better for that organization. Now they have a legit third. Paul George is a better all-around player than Klay Thompson in my eyes at this stage in his career. He can still defend at a high level. He can still score in a multitude of ways. He's not just a shooter. He can go to the hole. He's got some health issues. I'll admit that.
Availability is the best ability, my friend.
I agree. Listen, you're not going to check that box in Klay Thompson's square. He's less reliable than he didn't play for 2 years straight.
True.
He can play 20 minutes a night and get you 18 points and hit 6 3-pointers. Like, that's not out of his
Paul George can get you. Paul George can get you 18, and he can give 7 assists, and he can get you 8 rebounds.
Yeah, but I think those numbers take away from Maxey and Embiid more than the production that Klay Thompson would from the superstars that are on his team.
Now, the only thing I'd say to that is that if Philly's serious about winning, then what they need to do is be able to distribute to a third option. So much in the way that Jason Tatum was able to take a step back statistically this year, so the Celtics could take a step forward, Joel Embiid has to take a step back statistically so that Paul George can be a legitimate third option.
Yeah.
They need 3 guys that can drop 20 to 25 at any given night, and he needs to be able to not be – the entire offense can't continually run through him at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think it would benefit Philly to not allow that to happen, to almost reduce Embiid's minutes so that he's healthy towards the end of the season, and then he can play towards the third quarter of the season or the fourth quarter of the season time frame wise. He's still ramping up to like 38 minutes a game, and then by the time you get into the playoffs. Yeah, I think that the offense should flow and be established through Paul George and Tyrese Maxey, and Embiid takes a back seat. But it's also one of those things, like, how much is Embiid getting paid? Like, the offense should flow through him, the amount of money that he's getting paid. Same with Paul George. Like, so where do we figure out how this works? And I think that Paul George will be just as injured or will play just as much as Embiid will, as far as games played for the season. They're both not
Right.
towards the latter end of their career. So whether it's load management, my knee is swollen, so I'm going to take tonight off, whatever that looks like. But
You think it's Embiid's at the latter half of his career? How old is Embiid?
he's not that old. It's the fact of his size and the current injuries that he's had. He's had knee injuries. He's had lower extremity injuries. Guys of that size, it's not uncommon for them to. Yes, they recover, but do they fully recover? And do they get better? Like, it just doesn't normally happen. Like,
do you guys know what his stats were when he went out this year?
Yeah, he was probably averaging like 28 points.
Nope.
Gentlemen,
34.7.
Gentlemen,
34.7.
I'm so sorry, but I just got this text from Tim Constant, who's like, "Are you guys still on? Can you guys want to talk for a second? What do you think? I can easily go either way." Guys,
I'm down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me.
Wally?
Mother man. Yeah.
All right, I'll listen to him. I was like, give me an email. Holy shit.
What's that?
Wally?
Can't be smoking anymore, Wally.
Yes. All you gotta do is love some Jesus, Nate. You'll be fine.
Huh? I'm gonna get a drink too.
Yeah, go get a drink. This is gonna be fun. This could be fun. Constant.
You're on vacation. How long is Wally going to be on? I guess that's probably what we should ask Wally.
Gmail.
Yeah, man, I was hoping to be up there longer. Like I said, I wanted to spend the whole month of freaking August. I just can't figure out a way to have my dogs looked over or taken care of for the week that I'm in Maine. And I can't. My sister's going back and forth about. I know that I can get the dogs there because they're both service dogs, and I have paperwork that shows that they're service dogs. I can get them in the house. They're not, they're hypoallergenic. Like, if I had to pay, let's say the cleaning fee for a pet at the Airbnb was $600, that would still save me $200, but my sister doesn't want to deal with that because they rent the house. They already told her brother-in-law that a couple of years ago that no pets are allowed, etc. And anyway, so I just couldn't figure out a way to have them taken care of that made sense for the week that I'm in Maine. I would have been fine with, again, coming to your house, Chet, coming to your house, Wally, staying until I go to Maine, with my dogs. And then I wanted to stay. If I drove up, I wanted to stay for a prolonged period of time, but couldn't figure out a way to get my dogs taken care of for that week specifically.
I respect that, Nate. Like, you gotta take care of your dogs. Totally get that. I do. Oh, Wally, you're still on mute in case you're trying to talk to us.
Are you talking to us, Wally?
I thought he was.
I'm eating pretzels, so I didn't want you guys to have to listen to me chew.
I don't care about that.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to hear you chew, man. Going back to basketball. Going back to basketball. What do we think about Chris Paul going to the Spurs, man?
Look,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You don't think so? You don't think it's going to help Wemby at all?
He's older than we are. It doesn't matter.
He is, but the they're probably trying to surround him with a veteran presence that'll help him mature a little bit more.
Yes.
I think that's a good
Yeah,
option.
it's a good signing. It's a good signing. I think from a locker room and in a player development standpoint for Wemby, it makes a lot of sense. I don't think it'll impact. I don't think it'll impact their. Well, I mean, maybe it will. I mean, maybe there'll be a fringe playoff team. Maybe.
Well, they just made another deal this week, didn't they? DeMar DeRozan. It involved DeMar DeRozan. I didn't pay much attention to that, but I heard about it. About to look.
How many more years do you think Pop's got? He's got to retire soon, huh?
Who?
Pop.
Oh,
Spurs head coach Popovich.
I don't know. He'll coach till he. You know what? When he's ready to step down, I think the Spurs will have the first female coach ever in the history of the NBA.
I think so too.
Follow.
I think they're grooming her for it.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
Their number one assistant is.
It's a real opinion, Chet. It's not. We don't know if it'll be a real thing. I feel strongly that the Spurs would be the first. They were the first person to hire a female as a coach in the NBA. That same coach has been there for a while. She does coach in the NBA, the WNBA as well. I mean,
man.
Yeah, Becky Hammond, right? Wally, is her name? Yeah.
Yep, that's her.
Yeah, I feel like she's being groomed. It would be cool to see that, honestly. Like I don't know how I'm sure none of the players on the Spurs have any reservations about that individual taking over. I'm sure from the outside looking in, somebody that's never had a female coach basketball.
Doesn't matter.
They might. Well, I think some people are hard-headed, and we already talked about being born and bred into political parties. So
fair enough.
To think that an ideology that you grew up with your entire life, where a man coaches a man's sport, isn't far-fetched,
Well, my dad
could see somebody like.
Tell you that.
Yeah, I can see somebody like Ja Morant struggling with a female coach. I think Wemby will be all right, but there are certain people in the NBA that probably wouldn't do well with a female head coach, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Dang,
He's a professional though.
Say that again?
Sorry, using my soda stream. That's why I muted to make sure you guys wouldn't hear that shit. But
what did Tim say?
He's going to be on in like 2 minutes. But I said part of being a professional though is like you got to deal with everything. Like it doesn't matter. Like whatever your thoughts are, whatever your feelings are, you're going to find a way to be pro. So you got a female head coach, deal with that shit. You got to do your best as a professional.
That makes sense. But that doesn't mean that like that would limit your free agency pool, like because there are people that think differently, I don't know how else to describe it. Like I think if the Spurs did that, it'd be unprecedented. Like first female coach ever in any male sport that I know of. So I mean that's groundbreaking. I think it's well deserved as well, but
I think it's great. Oh, there he is. You guys ready? Let's go.
So, DeMar DeRozan went to Sacramento while he was traded. Uh-oh.
They don't play defense there. I don't think that's a good move for San Francisco.
Whoa.
There he is.
Look at how we all
There he is. What's up, man?
What's going on, Timmy?
There's a lot less hair than used to, except for you, Nate. You got more.
More what? More hair?
More hair, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just on the face. It covers up all the ugliness,
Yeah.
For me specifically,
up,
not speaking about everybody else. Where are you?
You speak for all of us, fairly.
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, shoot. All right, we're all in the same time zone then.
Where are you, Texas?
Yep, Texas. Yep.
Oh, nice. What part?
Austin, just north of Austin. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is it Taylor or around there, Georgetown?
Yeah, Taylor. I'm closer to Taylor than I am to Georgetown.
Oh, nice. I was just in Taylor this spring.
Oh yeah, what were you
Yeah.
doing there?
There was a conference there. There's like the Expo Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, right around there. It was a cool town. I've been to Austin years ago, but other than that, mostly Dallas area.
Yeah, I live like 10 minutes away from Taylor and the
That's
Expo
cool.
Center. So next
Awesome.
time if that's a repeat thing, let me know, man.
Yeah.
Some
That would
spare
be awesome.
bedrooms. Yeah.
Yeah. What is that you back there?
Yeah, he needs it. We've been talking to him about his lighting. It's like he's got like night vision on, and all we can see
I
is
know you look like a
I'm
skin,
sorry. I'm trying. I'm trying here.
you look like a skinwalker, man. What's going on? You look like you lost some weight though, buddy.
I did, and you'll be happy to know, I still can't grow a beard. I never have been able to, and I still can't at 45.
When's the last time you tried, though?
it's true.
Honestly, I tried. I tried like 2 years ago, and everyone just is like, "What's going on with the patches, man?"
Yeah, you look like
I
you
think
have
it's time.
mange or something like that.
What's that?
You look like you have mange. It's all
Nice.
patchy.
That's kind of what they say. Like, yeah, I just can't. I mean, Wally, I'll try again. Should I try again?
There's no sense in quitting. I think you ought to give it another go.
Yeah.
I think you look great. Very distinguished with a beard.
I'm on vacation for 2 weeks, so I could. This is the time to do it.
Yeah, this is the perfect time. Grow
Let's
it
go.
out.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Seriously, Chad, how much weight have you lost?
That's a good question. Actually.
Oh, so I don't know actually, but I know when I started, I talked to a nutritionist and I was like, "Hey, listen, no one ever taught me this shit. Like, can you help me?" And she was like, "Yeah, stop eating pepperoni and pizza every day. It's gonna help you." And I was like, "Oh, cool."
You're still going through 3 cubes of Mountain Dew a week, buddy.
Oh my god, that probably wasn't smart. Looking back at it, I make smarter decisions now, Tim. Just so you know.
It's just surprising we all were able to have children.
With all the Mountain Dew consumption lowering, apparently it doesn't lower sperm count.
Yeah, right. We were basically the case studies for that.
Yeah, we're doing
that
just fine.
whole 5 myth out of the water.
We're doing just fine. No, actually, it's over time. I think it's probably been close to like, I don't even actually know because it took like 2 years. When I started 2 years ago, it was like a slow progression. But I honestly think it's been like 80 pounds or something like that.
Wow.
Right? Like I forget until I see someone like Tim or someone like at the lake, like I saw this last weekend. I forget like that it
Who hasn't
happened.
seen you for a while? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys, we've been doing this for a long time. It's like, you guys like, oh, you look all right. But yeah, no, usually I don't know until I haven't seen someone for like 2 or 3 years. Like, holy shit. Oh, Tim's frozen, I think.
So Tim, no, I don't. Is he frozen?
I think so.
Yeah. Or he just always has his mouth open like that.
Maybe he's doing his look. What's that supermodel look? Ben Stiller?
That's his blue steel.
Blue steel. Tim's doing the blue steel. I like it. Yeah, he just wrote got disconnected.
Tell him to get back on. We'll let him start with. I don't know anything that he's been doing, so I don't know what he does and exactly where he lives. So I'd like to ask him that, and then we can go around the horn. I think he knows where you two live and what you're doing, but maybe he doesn't.
Well, I think he definitely knows what I'm doing. I text him every now and again, and then so yeah, I think
I've been doing the same thing for 20 years. So
well, there you go.
Ollie, I think there's value in that, my friend.
He might not know. I believe.
I mean, I'm not doing the same thing. I've moved up.
I believe there's value in that.
Oh my God, have you? Right.
It's just a shock if you try to do something else, which is what I'm dealing with.
I'm ready.
There he is.
There he is. So Tim,
Was it something we said?
Catch me up.
Is it our fault, Tim?
It's 9 o'clock and the internet goes off automatically to keep kids from going
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Keep them disciplined. Keep them off devices.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I graduated in 1998.
We don't need to go back that far. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I've been an ER nurse for like 15 years,
Nice.
and I traveled around the country doing contracts. I was in Florida, New Hampshire, where else? LA, Hawaii, and then came back in 2016. Took a full-time job in an ER. Graduated with my nurse practitioner this past summer, and now I'm working at a jail.
Nice. Good for you.
Holy shit. Hold on. You can prescribe now?
you looking for some Ozempic?
Congratulations. No. He's good. He's good on that front.
I'm good.
I was wondering if that's what you were on, buddy.
No,
I
I
see
have.
that butt of yours. You got Ozempic butt?
I wish I did.
Yeah.
I didn't have the correct diagnosis for it, so I had to do it the hard way, which fucking sucks.
Yeah. What about you, Nate? What are you doing in Texas?
I retired from the military. I was my last 2 years I did up at Fort Hood, but I've been in Texas since 2002.
Yeah.
Live in the same area, so I finally retired December of last year, and I'm trying to.
How many years were you in? 20?
25, yeah, since we graduated, man. Yeah, so
Wow, 5 years.
Decided to finish that, and then I'm just taking some time off, trying to figure some things out. I had some good exit interviews, and I had some things set up with some friends that retired, but their companies aren't hiring. I was looking at doing some business consulting with Deloitte. Was going to go to Samsung at the Taylor plant and potentially somewhere in Austin. And they're just not hiring right now, so I decided to take some time off, figure some things out.
Nice.
I just got offered a job, but it's in San Antonio, and I still need to go through the hiring process, but I'm not sure if I want to relocate.
Right.
My daughter lives in College Station with
What's the job?
Kids, so the job would be a general manager of two plants. One's a manufacturing, one's distributing and logistics. And it would be like, I don't know, probably, I'm hoping that it wouldn't be more than like 45 hours a week. You know, I don't want to work 50, 60 hours. I had an interview and a job lined up with Tesla to be their logistics manager the regional manager for the Austin plant. But that was 60, 80 hours a week, you know, $300K, which would be nice, but I used to work 60 and 80 hours when I was in the military, and I know, you know, the money will only take me so far. I still won't be happy working 8 hours a week. So, yeah.
When I drove by that plant, that's the biggest man-made thing I've ever seen in my life.
In Tesla, the Tesla plant, it's freaking crazy, right? And they're building like a gigafarm or like a community across the street from it, and that's supposed to be huge. And like everyone's saying Tesla's in the tank.
My wife.
Hey, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
This is our high school reunion.
Oh, it's Wally and Chet.
And this is Nate.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah.
There's my dad.
Hello,
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Yep. Hi, Dad. Those
We're
are Tim's buddies from high school.
Hi, dudes. Yeah.
We're happy.
Going in there and get warm. We're going to get the mail.
Okay.
And take the dog for a walk.
Okay.
So.
Well, the mail is important. I think the mail is important.
Mail is
Well, it's
important.
Ray's birthday. You might have got a card.
So anyway, that didn't pan out, and maybe you didn't want it to pan out.
Well, yeah, no, I didn't go to the final interview because I didn't. They were very. They didn't give me a lot of details. I had 6 interviews in one day, and the last guy, talked to me about his position and the legality of. I can't tell you what this job is, and I can't tell you how much you would be making, and this and that, but I will tell you that we're looking for somebody, or there's an opening for my position in Austin. I'm like, okay. And then I just Google it and like, yeah, it would be a great opportunity. I just don't want to work 60 to 80 hours a week. And like, Tesla is like, again, I did some research after that. I did research before that, but it just, there's just a lot of stories about, not necessarily Elon, but the tempo of work is like they create a campus. They want you to stay there as much as you can, whether you're actually doing work or not, who knows? But like they want you to be there and be prepared to do work.
That sounds like a cult.
Yeah, I mean, Apple's the same way. I've talked to people.
You get paid in Tesla bucks to spend at the Tesla store.
It'd be nice if they gave me I was hoping I'd get a company car. Like that was the final interview would have been like, yeah, I need a company car. I need to make sure that I don't pay any tolls on this highway out here. Like,
yeah, they probably throw in a free Neuralink, man.
Maybe.
Get some ads.
I'd like some cybernetic upgrades if those are available too. I'll take some of those. Fix my eyes, fix my back, fix my knees. Like, yeah. I'm down with that.
So Tim, we buried the lead. We found out you're a nurse practitioner, so we're all thinking you can prescribe us some, as you might call it, cocaine. It's also
cocaine.
It's also called Adderall. So we all have. Wally will say it first. We all have ADD, and we really need some 30 milligram Adderall pills. So you can do that, right? No problem.
Absolutely. Line up, man.
Seriously, congratulations. I'm not kidding. Congratulations. That's an incredible responsibility to prescribe something. It's enormous. Like, congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it's not always as glorious as it sounds.
Yeah, no, it's constant.
I am familiar with smells now. I wish I had never in my mind.
No,
that's what 17 years in healthcare will do you.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Wally? What are you up to?
We got a house in Hill, 2 kids, wife. I'm working at Spalding still. I'm director of family services. Been there for I'm coming up to 20 years. 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
How old are your kids?
Hell of a run. My son is 6 and my daughter's 9. Dory and Walter.
That's awesome.
Walter,
you live in Til'ton or Samberton?
No, I have a house in Hill. I don't know if you know Hill. It's a little dot on the map between Franklin and Bristol.
Oh.
Little quaint little village. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, I'm happy here.
We came back to we went back to New Hampshire last month, driving through Tilton, and I was remembering there was some house that we stayed at that was really creepy. That was
that house still exists. It's my aunt's house. It's on Prospect Street in Franklin.
Yes, I forgot that.
It's a beautiful house, an absolutely gorgeous house. I was house sitting for it. All my siblings used to house sit for my sister. My older sister Katie and my younger sister Zach used to throw ragers, keggers, parties. Everyone would get wasted. The first time I ever got drunk was Katie throwing a party. We used to get together, put on muumuus, like act like aliens and scare the shit out of each other and drink Mountain Dew all night. I remember it distinctly. We did. That's just how we rolled in high school.
That's what we did. That's what we did.
That's what we did.
That.
I remember that very well.
What are muumuus?
It was like a house coat. Like it was like an old lady's bathrobe almost. It's a house coat. I used to call it a muumuu. It was a slip over night slip almost. I remember Tim I don't know why I remember this. Tim had it over his head and was trying to scare the shit out of us and working very successfully in doing it. I don't know if am I alone? Do you guys remember this or am I making this up?
I forgot just now, but you were not alone. That was hilarious.
Yeah, Chad was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, Chad was there.
Chad was absolutely there. Chad was absolutely there.
Yep. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And you guys still playing basketball or anything like that? Pickup?
No, I occasionally go and shoot around, but I try to stay away from kids.
No, I help coach. I help coach a little bit, but
is it like a 50-foot rule you're in there or something? Or?
No. No, actually,
Kids love him.
the last
My
time
children
I
love.
played,
My children love Nate. They
Yeah.
call him Big Nate. They're big fans.
yeah, I'm a grandfather, man. I'm gentle, super gentle. Like,
Are you serious?
yeah,
That is.
my
Yeah.
daughter has 2 kids, so she's 25.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I did play basketball when I was in Kuwait. This was 2021. Was
Okay.
I played for the my company team that we had. We were second place actually. I came off the
nice.
bench. I mostly coached, but
Yeah.
I was you know, there were some studs on the team, but they're all like have zero mental toughness, so it was difficult to coach them, honestly, because it's just like they have so much ability and they have very little resilience. Like they miss a shot and it's the end of the world. It kind of reminds me in high school, but of myself, which I went through.
I was going to say, my God, man, you're describing somebody I used to know.
But I'm a little bit better at it now. But yeah.
I was playing soccer in like a 40+ league for several years, and I still would. It's just the scheduling doesn't really work out. But man, there's like we have a ton of like Mexican teams out here, and they're just primo, and they'll practice. I mean, this is like rec league. They're
Tilting the Scales with
and
Nathan
they play
Logan,
dirty, and
Walter
like I
Hall,
leave, it's
and the
indoors, so it's like
Heartbreak
a hockey
Kid,
rink. You can play off
Chet
the walls
Bowen.
and all that.
Yeah.
And you
Is
just
it
leave.
6-on-6 or what is it?
Yeah.
6-on-6. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you leave after an hour of playing, and you're just like, "This is going to stay broken. I'm never going to recover." And then next week, I'm going to do it again. Got to relive the glory days.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, I
You still playing up front? Still playing striker?
Yeah, one thing I've realized is that the only thing I had going for me is that I was fast. I have zero ball skills.
Oh, come on, that's not true.
And so when it comes to playing soccer, like, I show up, I make some runs, make a lot of bad passes, and like I don't know that I want to. We just show up to have a pitcher of beer at the end, really. So it's
that's as good a reason as any.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I was, is other than coaching, was I was a savvy veteran that would make a good pass instead of shooting like everybody else, and like get a key rebound, like just I grind it out, do the quick work. That's what I was good at. So. But yeah,
You're talking coaching?
We were talking about when we last played sports.
Oh,
when did you play basketball last, Chet?
me?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago, but not well.
I mean,
I go to that saying, right?
I don't think any of us have played anything well in a while. We feel good. It's doing it that is actually the enjoyment, not
that is the part. That's fun.
My brother likes to tell this story. Literally the last competitive basketball game I played was a men's league game, where we tell everyone that we scored 38 points. He scored 36. I scored 2. and that's the last time But I tell everyone that story. Yeah, the Hall brothers dominated. We scored. I don't remember the exact.
You had
score.
20 rebounds and they were all off of his misses.
I don't remember what the actual number was, but it was the discrepancy was that he scored like 28 and I scored 2. Yeah, I boxed the shit out of everybody else though. Let me tell you what, my defense was on point.
Make everybody work for everything they get. For sure, yeah.
I just coach Cameron's football team, and I'm like, I never played, and they're like, we don't care, it's flag 8. And I'm like, okay, cool, but I can scheme it up, but I wish it Winslow made a football team. We would have been okay.
I do too.
I really wish that we did, because like that was the sport that I would have excelled in. I think you never will know. Like, man, that would have been great.
Like Uncle Rico.
Like, yeah, I bet you I could throw this football right over
that mountain over there.
I throw it right over those mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, my son's playing football, and he's got the build. I mean, he's got my wife's height and my kind of stockiness. So
Nice.
he's like 6 foot and he's just ripped. But he just doesn't have like the eye of the tiger that you need for football to like, I'm gonna kill you, that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and he just doesn't he likes the team, but he's not like a student of the game that you have to be to play football. So yeah, it's fun. Like there's nothing like Friday night light games, like
Oh my God.
oh man, it's just so fun. It's like good old fashioned American fun.
For sure, yeah.
It's great.
I wish
And
we would
Texas.
have had that experience with football specifically, but
Yeah.
Actually, Tim, which professional football team is your son a fan of? This is a tough one.
He's not.
Or he's just not.
That's what I'm saying. He just doesn't really care that much about football. Like we'll go over to watch a game at a friend's house and he's like, off doing something else. And
What,
Okay,
what
more
old is
important
he?
question.
what's that?
How old
More
is your
important
son?
question.
So yeah, he's 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's my oldest. And then I got to get back because my other son just turned 16 today.
Oh, okay. It was
So,
his birthday.
And then my daughter is 13.
Nice. That's
Oh,
awesome, man.
Tim,
Yeah.
you all right?
What?
My daughter's also 13. Just making sure you're okay. Like as a
Yeah.
It's tough.
He's already been through it twice. Like,
Yeah, it's different with. I mean, she's
It's different.
she's
Yeah,
finally
for sure.
aged that she's been acting her entire life. So yeah, she's sweetie though. Yeah, she's not hard yet.
yeah.
Good for you.
I was lucky my daughter didn't go through of course she went through I hate my parents and everything about them.
Yeah.
But like she wasn't boy crazy, was very, very level headed and even keeled when it came to most everything else. But, she
Yeah.
the typical teen rebellion of hating everything that we do and say.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy how that goes. That happens quick. Like it's, they listen to everything you say and love every word that you say and show affection. And then it's like the next day they wake up and like, I hate you now. Like,
Yeah.
and this is going to continue for a prolonged period of time until I decide that it will stop. And I love you again.
Great time. It's a great time, really.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, Tim, we usually do this every Friday night.
Every Friday night.
That's awesome because I'm finally when I was working in the ER full time, it was 3 days a week. My hours were it was 11 to 11 and it was all over the place. But now I just work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 A to 7 P. So what time do you guys usually get on?
9 o'clock.
Yeah,
9 p.m. Eastern time, our time.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock
Okay.
Central. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Is this going to be the same link, Chet, or?
Yeah, I'll send you the link for forever.
Okay.
That's
Yes, it's
you wanna-
this link though.
If you
Same
want to,
link.
if you do want to get involved, I basically create like a script with topics to talk about.
Yeah.
That way you can.
That's awesome.
That way you can do research or actually like look at the topics and think about what you want to say. Or if you want to, you can also, I'll give you access to the Google document so that if you want to go in and add something or come up with your own topic, bring something, you want to talk about something that happened at work. I'm always down to talk about prison. I know two things about prison, I think, and it's the first 2 rules of prison. That's all that I know.
Yes, I think we all know what those 2 rules are.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
I don't. I am seriously lost.
And I hope I never find out. God willing.
Yeah, well, that's great, Nate. Because I one of my hobbies is I like to write, and so I tend to do explore certain topics and
I know.
religion, philosophy, current events, things like that.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so yeah, I love.
You've come to the right place.
Yes,
Yeah, Tim
we
Tim
talked
has a
about
great blog.
earlier.
I read his blog sometimes.
Yeah,
Wait,
earlier we talked about the Biden address to the nation. We also talked about the presidential debate. What else did we talk about? We talked about mostly sports centric because Wally gets real heated about politics, and it rubs me the wrong way.
I'm sorry. Listen,
I'm
it's
just
not just
kidding.
politics. I'm a passionate individual. I won't apologize. I don't need that criticism.
I work with a girl. I love to have political conversations, and I'm put together in such a way that I can have conversations with people who disagree with me pretty easily. And so one of my coworkers, I told her that politically I'm just to the left of King Arthur, and
Off with his head.
and she said that politically she's just to the right of Vladimir Lenin. So it was a good conversation.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, that's definitely a conversation to start with. So.
Oh yeah. Cool guys.
Yeah, man. But we do this every Friday. And if you
I'm
want,
so excited. You have
if you
no
want to
idea.
inject, if you want to inject your own topics, and
Yeah, let us know. Like you could set your own topics, and like if we send Nate like today, I was like I wanted to talk about Jaylen Brown not getting invited to the Olympics, so it doesn't matter what it is. I said it, and then he was like, "I'll do it," and so you can say whatever you want. Nate will put that shit in there. It's good stuff.
well, I mean, I think we're all well-rounded enough. I mean, we the three of us, Tim, are all fanboys of New England sports, so we're supercharged about that. We'll talk about that. The script is predominantly something about that, but it also includes like we haven't even named this thing. I'm trying to like name it, not necessarily make it a podcast, but like you are being recorded. Chet didn't tell you that, but
oh shit, sorry.
you are being recorded. Like at some point, I want to like make a YouTube channel, name it,
man.
like put it on Instagram, put it on just not necessarily. I'm not trying to make money or make money.
Yeah.
If it makes some pizza money for all of us, then I'm down with that. But
Sweet, man. That's awesome. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got to jet. I got to get back to the kiddo.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Enjoy the party. Happy birthday
celebration. Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. This is great. It's good seeing you.
Yeah.
Tim, it was good seeing you, buddy.
Take care, man.
Thanks for jumping on, Tim.
Thanks.
All right.
God damn, that was good to see Tim. That was a good conversation today. I've enjoyed every level of our conversation today.
Yeah.
Tilting the Scales with Nathan Logan, Walter Hall, and the Heartbreak Kid, Chet Bowen.